Hi and welcome. I'm trying to learn histology today, structural classification of exocrine glands. And after we've done that, we're going to do stretching. And if you participate in the stretching, then it's better to get on risk. And that's what we're talking about in general anatomy. Structural classification of exocrine glands. Exocrine glands are classified into unicellular and multicellular types. Okay, exocrine glands, we had it in the part before. These are the ones who are making secretions to the outside of the body, to a duct to the outside, so sweat or saliva in the mouth. The endocrine glands are making the hormones inside of the human body. Exocrine glands are classified into unicellular and multicellular types. Okay, there are unicellular and multicellular types. Unicellular glands are single-celled, unicellular. An important unicellular exocrine gland is the goblet cell. Okay, humans have something the goblet cell, and that is an unicell exocrine gland. Although goblet cells do not contain ducts, they are classified as unicell mucus-secreting exocrine glands. Okay, not all exocrine glands using a duct. This goblet cell does it not, but it's still a unicellular mucus-secreting exocrine gland. Most glands are multicellular glands, composed of cells that form the distinctive macroscopic structure or microscopic organ. Okay, the most glands are multicellular glands, and there are so many of them together that they are being a distinctive macroscopic structure or a macroscopic organ. I think what I mean is that they're basically like an organ, just a bit smaller. Examples are sweat, oil, and salivary glands. Multicellular glands are categorized according to two criteria: whether the glands are branched or unbranched. Okay? And the shape of their secretion portion, of their secretory portion. Okay, there are some glands, they are almost like organs, and some are a bit branched and otherwise unbranched. If the duct of a gland does not branch, then it is a simple gland. That makes sense. So having some glands, I have to say that I don't know, I'm not familiar with the word duct. I don't know what it is, I think that's a pipe. Okay, they're having a duct. And if they're having just one, it is a simple gland. If the duct branches, it is a compound gland. Okay? That's a compound gland. And glands with tubular, just a question aside, has it clinical significance to have names for each of these distinctive ones? If the duct branches, it is a compound gland. Could it happen that a gland has two ducts and one of them is obstructed and that is now differently to treat if it is about a gland which is a compound gland opposing a simple gland? Glands with tubular secretion portions are tuber glands. Now I don't know what tuber is. Tuber is secretory portions, and they are then tuber glands. Those with flask-like secretion portion are acinar glands. Tubulocinnar glands have both tubular and flask-like secretion portions. I don't know, tubular and flask-like. Combinations of the degree of duct branching and the shape of their secretion portions are the criteria of the following structural classification scheme for multicellular exocrine glands. Let's use it again. Combinations of the degree of duct branching and the shape of the secretion portion are the criteria for the following structural classification scheme for multicellular exocrine glands. Okay, they're just telling us now in a list all these different types of glands which exist. We're going to read through it. And when we will keep eyes and ears open, if it is actually important in the medical world to know the differences between them. Simple gland. Single, non-branched duct. There's A simple tubular. Secretory portion is straight and tubular. Example, large intestinal glands. B, simple branched tubular. Secretory portion is branched and tubular. Example, gastric glands. Simple coiled tubular secretory portion is coiled. Example, sweat glands. Simple acinar secretory portion is flask-like. Example, glands of pineal urethra. Simple branched acinar secretory portion is branched and flask-like. Example, sebaceous glands. And in the second form of a compound gland branched duct, there are A, the compound tubular secretory portion is tubular. Example, vulvareuthal glands. B, the compound acinar secretory portion is flask-like. Example, mammary glands, and the compound tubular acinar secretory portion is both tubular and flask-like. Example, acinar glands of the pancreas. Actually, these are just 7 different ones over this, It's actually not money. And I think it is actually important. No, I have listed the examples and I recognize some of the glands mentioned. It makes a difference what type of glands it is. Okay, that's both the part of structural classification of exocrine glands, and now I understand what the title means. Okay, there are 2 main types, the simple and the compound glands. The simple have just one duct, the other one have branch duct, the compound gland. And then there are 3 or 4 different types. Sometimes one thing is branched and sometimes more. We don't have time now to do better detail. That was the part now to histology. Now, if you were here for histology, you can go directly to the next part of histology. We will do now the stretching. If you stay and participate in the stretching, then it's better to have a risk. We are starting with an exercise. The next exercise, you go to stable shoulder provided back, we're breathing in from the outside. And breathe out and over to one side. And breathing in and out the rib cage. And breathe out into the middle. Breathing in. And out to the other side. Breathe in and out the rib cage. Breathe out into the middle and the arms down. Next exercise. Now it's the arc up. Breathe again in. And out, and one hand slides down the leg. And the other shoulder stays down. Breathe again in. And out, we're taking one arm over. Breathe in and out the rib cage. Move out into the middle. Breathe again in. And out, and we're taking on filling in over first. Breathe again in. And out, now we are over. Breathe in and out the rib cage. And breathe out back down. And next exercise, they are now the aerobatic aeroplane. The feet are staying together. We're breathing in and actually the arms up. And breathe out and lift one hand down. Breathe in and reach. And breathe out one hand up. Breathe again in. Out one hand down. Breathe in and reach. Breathe out one hand up. Now my legs shoulder wide apart, and do shoulder circles, look back, up, and front, and down, and again. And now backwards, and front, up, back, and down, and another time. And now, breathe in and lift the shoulders up, and breathe out, lift the foot down. Again, in the shoulders up. And down and down. Down. Now we upper plucker. Breathe and lift the arms up. Now keep normal breathing while you one at a time, reach high up with the arm. Take an apple, an imaginary apple, which is hanging imaginary high on an apple branch. Turn it down and harvest it. And now the shifter. Arms wide apart, legs wide apart, arms up to a T, we're breathing in. And out, we're shifting just the upper part of the body over to one side. Again in. Out over to the other side. Again in. Out. out, we're leaning onto our knees. We're doing the buffalo fighting and saying, oh, we're breathing in. And out, we bring one shoulder front. Breathe in, shoulder back. And out, the other one front. Breathe in. Out. In. Out. In. And out, and we're hanging down. We only have to come deeper down. Breathing deep in through the mouth into the nose. This is when Niagara Falls. And then we're breathing out through the mouth again. Breathing in. And out. Again in. And out we go over to one leg. Breathing in. Then out over to the other leg. Breathing in. And out into the middle. Now close the leg. But we keep on hanging down. We're doing the Salto Angelo. Breathing in. And out. Again in. And out. And now again in. Now becoming slowly with round back up, making it a top backwards shoulder. Now, we're down the canvas. Toss the palm to the outside, leaving an ornamental space between the heels, we're breathing in lift the arms up. And breathe out and we're sinking down and we're placing the elbows against the inside of the knees. Now breathe in, straighten up. And breathe out and cover the back up. Breathe in. And out again down. Breathe in and straighten up. And out again. Breathe in. Out. And last time to garden pose. We're breathing in, straightening up. Out, we're coming slowly in one straight line upwards. Now we're ending with a chunky glide. Legs wide apart, we're breathing down. And breathe out. Again. In. Okay. Out. Breathe in, close the legs. Hands down again. That was for stretching. I thank you very much and until next time.